Do you ever find yourself caught in an endless conversation with yourself late at night? Questions firing off in your head as if different parts of your brain have set up camp on opposing sides. One voice urges you to take risks, another warns you to stay safe, and you're left feeling stuck in the middle. This internal tug-of-war is more than harmless self-reflection. It's a real psychological phenomenon that affects your decisions, your mood, and even your energy levels. In this video, you'll discover what triggers those clashing inner voices and learn a simple toolkit to unite them into a cohesive team rather than letting them tear you apart. To start, let's unpack what this inner conflict truly is. Imagine your mind as a round table where each seat represents a different part of you. The risk-taking adventurer, the cautious protector, the creative dreamer, and the pragmatic planner. These parts evolve to help you survive and thrive, but without a clear leader or coordination, they end up competing for attention. Neuroscience shows that this competition often arises from mismatched signals between the limbic system, which seeks immediate reward and safety, and the prefrontal cortex, which weighs long-term goals and abstract reasoning. When these regions fire at cross purposes, your thoughts pull in opposite directions, draining your mental stamina and leaving you feeling indecisive. Understanding this foundation is the first step toward mastering your internal dialogue rather than being mastered by it. When we look closer at why this internal tug-of-war keeps pulling you apart, three core forces emerge. First, your brain's ancient survival circuits demand safety and comfort, while your higher-order reasoning relentlessly pushes for growth and achievement. Imagine a rainstorm inside you. One part reaches for the umbrella of caution, another dances in the rain of opportunity. Without a conductor, each element floods your mind. Second, cognitive dissonance kicks in whenever your actions and beliefs misalign. If you believe I should be productive but find yourself scrolling social media, that mismatch triggers discomfort, and your mind instinctively tries to reconcile it, often by arguing both sides until it feels sane again. Third, emotional memories add fuel to the fire. Past experiences wired your inner critic to speak louder when it senses risk, and your inner cheerleader learned to chime in only when you've earned it. Neurologically, the amygdala alarms you with danger signals, while the ventral striatum whispers reward cues, and your prefrontal cortex struggles to balance both. These competing impulses fragment your attention and energy, turning simple choices into battlegrounds. Recognizing these forces is crucial because it shifts you from feeling powerless in that chaos to seeing a clear path for reconciliation. Now that you understand what drives your internal debate and why it intensifies under stress, let's move on to the toolkit that brings harmony to your inner round table. Now it's time to bring peace to that inner battlefield with the first tool in your mind's harmony toolkit, the Mediator Exercise. Begin by noticing each voice as it speaks. Perhaps your inner critic warns you of failure, your inner explorer urges novelty, and your inner protector pleads for safety. And give each voice a simple name such as Cautious Guard or Brave Scout. Imagine your mind as a team and picture yourself stepping in as the coach who listens to every player's concern before making a play. To practice, set aside 5 minutes each morning with a notebook or voice memo. Ask your Cautious Guard, "What are you afraid will happen?" And let that voice answer honestly. Then ask your Brave Scout, "What do you want to explore today?" and record its reply. This act of naming and questioning shifts you from being caught in the argument to observing it, activating your prefrontal cortex's supervisory role and interrupting the automatic tug-of-war. As you validate each voice, "I hear you want safety. I see you crave adventure," you reinforce a sense of internal respect that diffuses tension. Over days, you'll notice these voices become more patient and collaborative because they feel acknowledged instead of pressured. This simple mediator routine turns chaos into conversation, laying the groundwork for your next step, teaching these voices to align around a shared goal so your mind can move forward with unity rather than conflict. Now that your voices feel heard, it's time to unite them under a common purpose with the shared vision protocol. Imagine your inner parts as musicians in an orchestra, each talented soloist, but only a conductor and a shared score can turn noise into music. Begin by choosing one clear goal for the day or week, such as complete the project outline or practice self-care for 30 minutes, and write it at the top of a page. Then invite each voice, your Cautious Guard, Brave Scout, Creative Artist, to suggest exactly one contribution they can make toward that goal. Your Cautious Guard might propose a risk assessment checkpoint, Brave Scout could recommend a bold idea to spark progress, and Creative Artist might offer to map out visuals or metaphors to keep motivation high. As you record each voice's input, you're teaching your prefrontal cortex to mediate collaboration rather than conflict. Finally, review these suggestions and choose at least 2 to implement immediately, signaling to every part that their role matters within the shared plan. By practicing this ritual daily, you transform inner bickering into strategic teamwork, harnessing the full power of your mind to move forward with confidence and clarity. Next, you'll lock in this newfound teamwork with a simple daily sync ritual that cements cooperation between your inner parts. Each morning, take just 2 minutes before you begin work to revisit your shared vision protocol. Glance at today's goal, ask each voice for a single suggestion, and choose one actionable step from each to carry out. At midday, pause for a quick mental huddle. Notice any new debates rising in your head. Acknowledge them with a silent, "I hear you," then remind each part of the larger aim. In the evening, journal for 3 to 5 minutes. Note moments when voices clashed or aligned, record what tactics worked, and identify any lingering tension. This practice turns abstract exercises into real habits, training your prefrontal cortex to prioritize collaboration over conflict. Over time, you'll build muscle memory. Whenever indecision creeps in, your brain will default to internal consultation rather than internal arguing. To reinforce the ritual, tie it to an existing cue, your morning coffee, lunch break, or bedtime routine, so that your inner team check-in becomes as automatic as tying your shoes. Remember, consistency matters more than duration. Even a one-sentence journal log signals respect to your inner parts and strengthens their trust. As your voices learn to plan together, you'll find decisions flow more smoothly, stress melts away, and you reclaim mental energy for what truly matters. Keep practicing this daily sync ritual, and watch how your inner orchestra transforms discord into harmony, empowering you to move forward with clarity and confidence. You might notice that despite daily syncs and shared visions, old debates still flare up when stakes feel high or fatigue sets in. That's where the adaptive calibration technique comes in. Treat each setback as data rather than defeat. Whenever a familiar feud resurfaces, your cautious guard overwhelming Brave Scout or vice versa, pause and label the experience. A Guard Scout conflict check. Rate its intensity on a simple 0-10 scale in your mind, then ask each voice what small tweak would lower its score by just 1 point. Your Guard might request a quick risk review checklist, while Scout could ask for a short burst of creative brainstorming to break the tension. Implement those micro adjustments immediately and observe how the conflict level drops. This real-time calibration teaches your inner team to self-regulate and trust that their concerns will be addressed without full-blown arguments. To deepen the effect, introduce future self-mirroring. Imagine your wiser self 6 months from now observing today's internal debate with compassion and curiosity. Visualize that future guide stepping in to moderate the conversation with warmth and insight. This exercise activates neural pathways associated with self-compassion and long-term perspective, further dampening reactive impulses. Finally, enlist the power of environmental anchors. Place a small symbol, like a colored sticky note or a particular mug, on your desk that reminds you of your inner harmony mission. Each time you see it, take a breath and mentally cue your daily sync ritual or calibration check. Over weeks, these anchors become conditioned triggers, automatically steering your mind away from discord and toward collaboration. By combining adaptive calibration, future self-mirroring, and environmental anchors, you build a robust system that not only resolves conflicts, but anticipates and prevents them, ensuring your inner orchestra plays in concert even under pressure. Now that you've met your inner voices, created shared goals, synced daily, and learned to adjust in real time, it's time to weave all these practices into your ongoing inner harmony routine. Each morning, coach your internal team with the Mediator Exercise. Name and listen to each part, then apply the shared vision protocol to set a clear intention for the day. Use the daily sync ritual at midday to check in, acknowledge any emerging debates, and realign toward your goal. When stress spikes or fatigue drags you back into argument, deploy the adaptive calibration technique to make micro-adjustments and lower tension by 1 point. Invoke future self-mirroring to gain compassionate perspective, and let your environmental anchor, be it a sticky note, a special mug, or a small token, serve as a reminder to stay united. Over time, these steps become second nature, transforming internal conflict into coordinated creativity, freeing your mental energy for decisions that truly matter. This inner harmony routine is not a one-off fix, but a lifelong skill set. As you grow and face new challenges, your mind's orchestra will learn to adapt, collaborate, and innovate together. If this toolkit resonated with you, please like this video to let us know, share it with someone who could use a little inner peace, and subscribe to Mind Unlocked for more science-backed strategies that help you think clearer, feel kinder, and unlock the best version of yourself.